Hi cuties! As hard as this looks, this is actually a very easy granny square as long as you already know how to do granny squares. If you're a beginner and you're not super confident in your granny square abilities, maybe go and practice a little bit and then come back to this, and I'm confident in your ability to still be able to do it even as a beginner. You can do this, for sure. I think the hardest thing about this granny square is getting the tension right. So the very first time I did it, the edges were a little bit too tight, and this is after blocking, and it's still not very straight because my tension was off. But this one came out really nicely, and I haven't even blocked it yet, and I think it came out beautifully. So the materials you're gonna need. We're gonna do an ombre color. You can do any type of colors you want. I'm using the Trubu from the Lions brand. It is a lightweight 3, and it comes in the color Thistle Purple. Next, we are using loops and threads. This is also a rayon bamboo, the same as the other one, which I would not necessarily recommend. It splits a lot, it's kind of hard to work with. And this is in the color Boysenberry. And then for the last one, we have Cotonia yarn, and this is a light 2. I would not necessarily recommend mixing weight yarns, but it still came out fine, so it's okay. And this is in the color Fuchsia. And today we are going to be using a 3.5mm hook. Since these are different weight yarns, I just kind of wanted to meet in the middle with a 3.5 instead of a 4. But that is on you what hook size you want to use. It'll still come out beautifully. So now that I have 2, I think I'm gonna make one of those 3 granny square bags that I have on my channel. So you can make these granny squares and then go to that channel, go to the timestamp that shows you how to sew together the entire purse. I think that would be really fun. Okay, magic ring time, but don't get intimidated. I have a really easy way for you to do a magic ring. Basically, you're going to make a circle around your fingers, okay? Take that circle off and push your working yarn through the circle, okay? So now it should look like this. Now you are going to put your thumb and index finger through that hole, twist over, and grab your working yarn and pull it through that hole. And now you have a very big loop. Now you are just going to put your hook on it and pull that loop tight. And there you go. Now, since we already chained 1, I'm just going to chain a second time. I don't use the 3 chains as 1 double crochet. I just don't like doing that. If you like doing that, you can do 3 chains if you'd like. We're just going to go straight into a double crochet. So yarn over, go into your circle, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. And that is your first double crochet. If you need to, you can go ahead and put a stitch marker in this very first stitch. So we are going to do 3 double crochets total. So that was 1, 2, and 3. Now chain 2, 1, 2, and another cluster of 3 double crochets. 1, 2, let's pull the circle a little bit tighter, and 3. Okay, so now you have 2 clusters, chain 2, so 3 more double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. So now we have 3 clusters total, as you can see, and now we just need 1 more cluster. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I'll pull this tight. So now make sure to chain 2 before slip stitching into the very first stitch. So just count backwards, 1, 2, 3, This is the top stitch of that cluster. Go ahead and slip stitch into there. And now as you can see, we're forming this nice little square. So what we're gonna do is just slip stitch along these 3 stitches up here. Make sure to keep your slip stitches loose. 2. And then we are here at this chain space where we did the chain 2. You see that hole? And you are just going to slip stitch into that hole. So I like to just chain 2. That does not count as my double crochet. And then go into here with 1, 2, 3, and that is my cluster of 3 double crochets. Now chain 2 and 3 more double crochets into the same chain 2 space, okay? So just do 3 double crochets, and it should come out looking like this. So you have 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. And now without chaining, do not chain, you're going to go into this next chain space right here. So skip these 3 double crochets down here, and as you can see, here's the chain 2, double crochet into that one with 1, 2, and 3 double crochets. Chain 2 and 3 more double crochets into that same chain space. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to continue this all the way around. So 3 into every single chain space corner, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 more double crochets into that same space. And now we are on the very last corner. As you can see, there's the chain 2 space right there. So without chaining or anything, just yarn over and go straight into that chain 2 space with 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, a chain 2, and then 3 more double crochets. Okay, and we're gonna get to the spike stitches very soon. You're gonna see it coming together very nicely. All right, and now we are just going to slip stitch into the last stitch right here. So 1, 2, 3, the top of the 3rd stitch, just go ahead and slip stitch. And that's what it should be looking like so far. Again, we are going to slip stitch into each of these stitches until we reach the chain 2 space. So here's the chain 2 space. Go ahead and make a slip stitch into that chain 2 space. Now chain up 2 and put your 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, and 3 double crochets. So you made your cluster, chain 2, and do 3 more double crochets into that same chain space. And 3. There you go. And now here's where we get into the spike double crochets. So So normally in a granny square, we would do just 3 double crochets in here, but what we are going to do without chaining, go into this space in between with 1 double crochet. And now we are going to do a spike double crochet for the second one. So yarn over like a double crochet and go into the middle of that circle of that very first row. So right here, go in, grab your yarn and pull it through, but make sure to bring it up to the same height as your other stitches. And now finish it off like a normal double crochet. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So there you go. And now we just need 1 more double crochet. So just go back into that space like you normally would with 1 more double crochet. So we have a double crochet, a spike double crochet, and a normal double crochet. And into the corner, you are just going to act like a normal granny square. So a cluster of 3, a chain 2, and a cluster of 3. I think the hardest part about this project is getting the spike double crochets the correct tension. And now I'm kind of afraid that I'm doing them too loose. So we'll see, I'm still trying to get it. So after you've finished the 2 clusters of 3 with the chain 2 in the middle, we go back to this side, go into here with a normal double crochet. Yikes, 1 sec. With a normal double crochet. And then your spike double crochet. So again, yarn over, go into the very middle, pull up a loop, and make sure that loop gets to the height of your other 2 loops. Now yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. And now just a normal double crochet. So hopefully you're getting the hang of that. In the corners, you just treat it like a normal granny square. So you're gonna go ahead 1, 2, 3, chain 2, another cluster of 3 double crochets, and again on this side, 1 double crochet into the side, 1 spike double crochet reaching down into the very middle, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. And now 1 more double crochet into that side stitch. There you go. Now do the corner again. 3 clusters. Chain 2. 3 more clusters. And here's the spike again. So 1 double crochet into this side, 1 spike double crochet, and then 1 more double crochet into that side. And that's how it should be looking so far. Don't worry if these look like a little bit too loose. I'd say it's a little bit better for it to be a little looser than too tight. I've been stretching these out. You see how much tension I had here, and it kind of curved the sides inward. So just try to get your tension right. And now slip stitch into the 3rd stitch right here on top. Count backwards, 1, 2, 3, and make a slip stitch. So this is the last round with this color, and we're going to do the exact same thing as last round. So slip stitch in each stitch until you get to your chain space. Slip stitch into the chain 2 space. Chain 2. This does not count as a double crochet. Make a double crochet cluster, so 3 double crochets. Chain 2. 3 more double crochets. And then in each gap, you are going to do 1 double crochet, and then the spike double crochet is going to go into the next row below, into this corresponding hole. So 1 double crochet, 1 spike double crochet, reach down into this hole right here. Pull up your loop, make sure it comes up to the same height, pull through 2, pull through 2. And now 1 normal double crochet into this gap. So this is the last time I'm going to show y'all, because it really just repeats like this over and over. So at the corners, you make a cluster of 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochet. And on all the sides, you do not chain in between. You just go in with a double crochet, a spike double crochet into the row right below it, not into here. Make sure that it's the one right below. So spike double crochet into this hole. And then a normal double crochet. So this just keeps repeating. This is how it should be looking. So the spike double crochets will be in all of these 4 corners. If you need more help, honestly, you can just keep replaying this part the whole way around. You're just going to keep repeating that, and I'll come back when it's time to change color. It should be looking something like this so far. We are in the very last gap right now. So go in the last gap with your double crochet, and then your spike double should be going right in here, right below it. So pull that up, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then go into that gap again with just a normal double crochet. So we're about to make a slip stitch, but we need to change colors. So how I like to do it is go through here, and instead of pulling this yarn up, I just attach the other yarn here and start using this as my working yarn. So now I'm going to pull this through and through. And then I like to tighten these on the back and cut this off. And then go ahead and just tie a knot so that it stays nice and secure until we can weave those ends in. There you go. And now we're just going to continue again the exact same way. So slip stitch over to your chain space, okay, chain 2, does not count as a double crochet again. So 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3, chain 2, and another 3 into this same corner space. 1, 2, and 3. So it should be looking like this. Now into the first gap, do not chain, just go in with a double crochet. and now a spike stitch. Like I said again, you just go into the row right below. So we're going into this hole with a spike double crochet. Yarn over, go into this hole, pull up a loop and make sure that it comes all the way up. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And then we are going to do a normal double crochet. So here's where it gets maybe a little bit more complicated. Now you are going to spike in between to get to the row below. So let me show you. So here into the next gap, put 1 double crochet. And now we are doing the spike double crochet, but as you can see, the row below is in between here. If you pull these apart, you can see a hole in the row below. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in between this spike double crochet into that hole. I hope you can see that. Into that hole, just right in the row below. Now yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2, and now do just 1. Now do just 1 normal double crochet. Let's do that again. Go into the next gap with a double crochet. And now a spike double crochet into the row right below. So into this hole, pull up, and make your spike double crochet, and then a normal double crochet. So that's how it should be looking. So basically the middle one is just gonna go into the row below. So yeah, this is what we're gonna be repeating all the way around. So hopefully this is how it's looking for you so far. So into the very last gap, put a double crochet, a spike double crochet into the row right below. And then 1 more normal double crochet into this gap. Now go ahead and slip stitch. And we're doing 1 more row with this color. So slip stitch into every stitch until you get to that chain 2. Slip stitch into the chain 2, chain 2, and make 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets into that same space. Now we are in the gaps again. So in each gap again, 1 double crochet, 1 spike double crochet, so the row below is right here. Go into that hole, pull up your loop to the height of your other stitches, and finish that double crochet. And into that gap again with just a normal double crochet. And now into the next gap, a double crochet, the middle one, so we're at a spike double crochet. So we are going down right here and in between into this hole. So the row right below, pull it up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then 1 more normal double crochet right there. That's how it should be looking. Into the next gap, 1 double crochet, the middle one a spike double crochet. So you're going right down here into the row below and in between these 2 strings. pull up your loop, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then a normal double crochet, and then into the last gap, double crochet, 1 spike double crochet into the row below, so right here in the corner, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then just a normal double crochet into this gap. That's how it should be looking. Oh, it's turning out so cute. So there you go. Hopefully you're following this by now. Obviously you can go rewind because it's just the same thing in each corner. So just make sure you're going into the row right below and in between this spike double crochet. So I'm here at the very last stitch. Hopefully this is what your project is looking like so far. So go into the last gap with your double crochet, and now your spike double crochet into here, and then 1 more double crochet into this same gap. So now we are changing colors to this bright pink color. So again, the way that I like to change colors is go in here as if I was going to do a slip stitch. Grab this pink yarn and pull the slip stitch through. And then come to the back here because everything's a little bit loose. Cut off this wine colored yarn and pull it tight by making a little knot. Boom. Just make a knot, and you can weave in your ends now or later. So make a slip stitch again, slip stitch until you reach your chain 2 space, and slip stitch into your chain 2 space, chain up 2, and again this does not count as your double crochet. Put 3 double crochets in this space, 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets. All right, and we are just repeating the same exact process. So into this first gap, do a double crochet, and now a spike double crochet into the row below. So right here into this hole. So 1 spike double crochet, and then into this gap again, just 1 normal double crochet. Now as you can see, this is the next gap. Go into here with a double crochet, and now a spike double crochet into the row right below, so right in between these strings into that hole, make a spike double crochet, and then a normal double crochet into that gap, into the next gap right here, 1 double crochet, and in the row below, reach down in here, and again just make sure that you get in between those 2 strings. So pull your loop up and finish your double crochet. Now go in there again with a normal double crochet, and yeah, we're just repeating this process all the way around. Hopefully you got it by now. The spike double crochet goes into the row below and in between the strings into this hole. Pull up your loop and make sure that it comes to the same height. And go into your gap again with a double crochet. And we have our last gap right here. So double crochet, spike double crochet right below, right into this hole. And one last double crochet into the gap. And then do your corner again. Your corner, remember, does not do spike double crochets. We do the corners like normal. So into your corner again with 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2 into that same corner space. 1, 2, and 3 double crochets. And then that is where we start. We only do the spike double crochets on the sides. So yeah, same thing as last time. We're just gonna keep going around, and we do this for 2 rows. So I will come back in the next row just to make sure that everything's looking good for you. But that's it. After that, we're genuinely done. So I just finished, and I'm going to slip stitch into here. And this is how it should be looking so far. It's so cute. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is coming out so cute. So I'm gonna show you one last time, and this is our very last row. So let me just show you one last time, just in case, so nobody gets lost. Make sure to slip stitch in every stitch until you get into this chain 2. Slip stitch into the chain 2, chain 2, and make 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Again, chain 2, and 1, 2, and 3. Now, here we go with the sides again. Put 1 double crochet into this gap right here. 1 spike double crochet, so go into the row right below. Pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then a normal double crochet into that gap again. Now into this next gap right here, put a double crochet, and make sure you are not chaining in between these. And now we are going to go down into the row below and in between these 2 strings. Grab a loop, pull it all the way up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then 1 normal double crochet. So we're going to continue like that all the way around, and then we're weaving in our ends and we're done. Let's go, y'all got this. Okay, so we just slip stitched into our last stitch here, and this is how it should be looking. So go ahead and you can just chain off here, cut this off, pull through, put this on. I like to kind of go through here so that the knot doesn't look as obvious. See what I mean? And then we come into the back, and I like to just go down here through these stitches. Also, please weave your ends in, y'all, because y'all spent so much time on this and I don't want it to get undone. I like to go through this way, skip this first stitch that you came out of, and kind of just go back through any of these stitches, and there you go. Cut that off. Do that a few more times, and boom. I love how pretty it even looks from the back. I think the hardest part about this project is just getting the tension right. So this was my very first one, and obviously the tension wasn't great, and even after blocking, these sides are not great. This one, I haven't even blocked this yet, so as soon as I block it, all the ends will be perfectly aligned and it will be perfectly square. So it just takes a little bit of practice to really get the tension right. But I absolutely love how this came out. I'm thinking about maybe making a bag the same way that I made a 3 granny square bag on my channel. If you haven't seen the bag one, check that out, because this might be a really great idea for a 3 granny square bag. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to answer anything. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. That helps my channel so much. And thank you guys so much for all the love and support. See you in the next one.